Sure, take a card. And let's see. The lady is attempting to get up. The guy stab, stab, stab. He no longer has his bonuses, but she goes, ah! And right. Dana runs down the thing. Best Pillow comes in and he looks around, and all the guys point their clubs at the dude. And Best Pillow's like, "You," in Latin, "you are banned." And at this point, the guy begins to have like a breeze around him and stuff. And he says, "Yes, sir," and begins to follow Dana Azul out at a walk. Dana, you've run into a problem. There's the front door over there. Stairs going up over there.
I take a few steps up the stairs.
Aha! This was no problem. You see the guy who did the attacking? It looks like he's in some sort of slowly increasing wind, but he is doing the hurried walk over, and he goes out the front door. You alone see him leave the front door. It looks like the wind was getting stronger. Yeah.
Is the companion, the two people that came in with, are they having the same effect on him?
No, although Vespillo is now angrily turning on them, and he says, "You did not commit violence." Or he looks at first the bodyguards, them, and they're like, "No." And he says, "Why?" And they're like, they quickly take a knee, and he says, "Why should I not eject you as well?" And the lady says, "We apologize and wish to tell you why." Secundus nods. The lady and the guy are now trading off bits of dialogue. I'm just going to do it all myself because, yeah, easier. The lady and guy explain, "The Temple of Syrinx is attempting to use the travelers in some way. They capture them and imprison them. Sometimes they cut off all of their limbs and remove their tongues as well. They're kept isolated and go mad. We fight the priests. For too long, Tyron has used this place to escape justice. We would have that denied to her. If bringing her to justice means being banished, we will gratefully accept it." Secunda says, "I sense no deception from you, and indeed this is a great evil. Go for now, as I do not wish you within my residence until I have had time to ponder your words. Perhaps in the future you may return." They nod and exit. Dana, you see those two leave the front door as well.
What do I see out the front door?
When they go out, It seems to be some sort of mountainous area with like trees, actually not trees, like volcanic looking formations and stuff. You catch a glimpse of that, and then they head out.
I will casually rejoin in the sitting room.
The pillow passes you in the hallway again, looking at you like,
The woman that was stabbed, did she fade away?
You look back, there's some blood where she was. Other than that, nothing.
Okay.
Is that a robot?
No. That's what happens when we die.
I mean, with the barcode and the metal stuff.
Oh no, that's a jack port for hooking up to computers or hooking up to cars and stuff and controlling them mentally.
Weird.
So the barcode on the back of the neck and the data jack, was that the woman getting stabbed or the person doing the stabbing that had that logo?
That was the woman getting stabbed, but the you notice that the others, when you got to look at them a little bit better, they seem to also have shaved heads.
Okay. What was his name?
You're hoping that the table leg does not take offense to your horrible actions and such. No problem. You guys regain and are drinking quietly, waiting for some other bit of stuff to happen. Everybody goes back to their drinking, but they seem to be more wary now. LJ, guy identified as LJ.
Lotus,
Looks like what?
Sorry, I was trying to remember the name of the guy we spoke to, Lotus, about the priests of Cyrenax.
Some guy, rather average looking, although he's fit and whatnot, comes up and he goes, "Anybody want to buy a boat? It's a magic boat.
What sort of boat?
Murder boat? It's a foldable murder boat. It's not a bad murder boat.
What makes it murdery?
You're LJ, aren't you?
That's right.
I heard you were trying to sell a murder boat.
That's true. Well, if you put a body in it, a corpse in it, and you're like at a big pond or something that floats away with it, and then it comes back hours later and no corpse is in it, it helps those messy situations. Yeah, murder boat. Anything to trade?
No, not at the moment, thank you.
Damn and blast. Well, in that case, I'm off to burn down a church and violate a vicar. He wanders off.
So just dump the body in the water.
Some cement, some chains. Do it the old-fashioned way.
He looks at the front and stomps off. Cut to, it shows a vicar. No! LJ grabs him. So, anyway.
Anything we want to accomplish here?
It was more just to get you access to it, and if you wanted to talk to anyone here.
Okay.
You're just doing this to try to delay going on one of the other 14
That's
plots.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. We can spend the entire session here if you want. Just
Yeah.
chatting to people and having fun and frivolity. And annoying Logan.
Hey,
I got a feel for what this is.
Yep.
If we want to.
All right. So if there's nobody you want to talk to, let's leave.
Right, you guys leave. Vespillo apologizes to you for having to witness the violence.
That's okay. So are you familiar with these priests of Cyrenax and this Tyron they were talking about?
No. I do not often have to delve in those affairs, although it makes me wonder, with the amount of cultural contamination, as I've learned it is called, that is going on, if I shouldn't move the bar.
And what will that do?
Well, that way beloved Rome would not be changed.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so that way it won't affect our presence. Won't have the potential to have a flow-on effect and affect the locals.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Where would you move it to?
Possibly a different space-time continuum. I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to look for a place. What a pain in the ass.
Yes, it could be. Yeah.
Oh, well. But those are my problems. I do not wish to burden you with them. Thank you so much for the excellent gift of the alcohol. By the way, all they really have to drink here, unless you want to order the special alcohol, which you kind of brought, so it's like, is really shitty wine cut with water for reasons. Not
That's
kidding.
That's what the Romans used to drink.
Yeah, shitty wine cut with water.
Yeah.
So you guys go back out and you arrive in exactly the same place that you had left. When you open up the door, rather than the weird volcanic stuff that Dana saw before, it's back to where you came from.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Where to next on your magical mystery tour?
Get half a dozen lizard horses organized as some breeding stock.
No
mounts
problem.
Mounts for the three of us. Supplies for several days.
No problem. As far as not the ones you're going to be riding, but for the rest, could I please get a horse, animal handling horse from Dana, because she's the only person who knows how to do it. The horses freak out, bolt, and run away.
I'm gonna try to support her.
Oh,
Well, it depends on if she made it or not.
Fail.
I did not make it, but I'm close.
They seem very, very antsy and such. You're thinking that they're going to be a huge pain in the ass all the way there.
Would I be able to try again the next day, or are they going to remember?
They're going to remember. No, of course you can try again the next day. They hold a grudge against you for days and days.
I don't know.
Would you like the next day? Would you like some support?
Yeah.
Some attempted support, I should say.
All right. Well, let's wait till next day. Joshua, right? You guys are riding out. Everybody, give me a ride lizard horse thing.
While we spend the night, I fetch my tech stuff from my room at the embassy.
Yes, please tool up with whatever you are wanting to tool up with, because doom
I
comes.
do not make my ride roll, but I do not fumble. It was close. It was extremely close to a fumble, but I don't fumble.
That would have made me happier.
We rolling ride or handle animal?
Ride.
Right.
Ride. I do not make my ride.
Fail.
You guys ride like you are
We're going to be really, really sore.
kind of like putting a Humpty Dumpty's in the saddle and then going at a trot. It's ugly. It's ugly as shit.
I get off and walk it.
No problem. You seem to be going the same speed as everybody else. They're like, oh no, this is horrible. Oh god.
Yes, and I will be attempting to shift us.
All right, go ahead and give me the shifting roll. This is for day one as you ride through the countryside. The Australian embassy guards do want to know if they should go with you and such.
That's okay. I play critical.
Dun, 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 dun. I thought he'd forget. I really, really did.
No
All
way.
right. So since you got a crit, thought he'd forget and then lose the card due to other fuckery, and then I would laugh, and then I'd eventually get the hiccups from laughing too much. Okay, your choices of your 4 different things that you could try to take, Pete, are, and as usual, you don't get much description going with these because I am a horrible, horrible human. You have the choice of Hellride.
Oh, yes.
The Royal Road. A second attempt at travel through shadow should the first fail, or detect power pattern.
All right, so Hellride will be doing it really quickly and probably send loss inducing. Second attempt is, being able to attempt it twice in a day as opposed to once a day. Detect power pattern. Not sure how useful that will be to us quite yet. Might be useful. And the Royal Road, I've got no idea, so I'm going to take the Royal Road.
Right. Royal Road. This allows you, instead of taking 2 days worth of walking, to take 10 days worth of walking at a slow, comfortable pace, and you only go through the most luxurious of shadows on your way from A to B.
Could you copy and paste that into the thing so I can copy and paste it onto my character sheet, please?
I'm trying to, but hold on, let me close it and reopen it. It's like, I'm not responding to you.
All right, so school shadow. Is there a particular school or a particular grouping that you're calling these?
I call these like amber powers.
Okay, just so I can note it down.
Mm.
Well, just also so I can note down, like, this is a rank 1 amber power, this is a rank 2 amber power.
Yeah.
Or not worry about, don't even worry about that.
No, yeah, I didn't.
Wasn't sure how they're in regards to, like, if I make Royal Road, if there's going to be additional ones that I get access to that I could not use previously.
Yeah, Royal Road is a dead end. Hopefully you're able to limited retrieve that card. That would be sexy.
Oh yeah, if I could do that, I would love it.
Does anybody else have a retrieve or limited retrieve?
No.
Pity. So
I'm assuming there's a bit more to it than takes. Yeah, from what you read, you've
yeah, no, it's
takes,
just it's comfortable. It's the comfortable way to shadow travel.
And okay, and don't travel through any nasty shadows. I'm assuming.
Right. I will add that to my deal here. Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you take 10 days if it doesn't make any difference?
Right. Yeah, since which is cool, but it doesn't move you up the power spectrum at all. It's just super comfortable. So
I can
swings and roundabouts, as they say.
Yeah.
So right, he begins taking you through where you. Sorry, I should ask this first because you're supposed to declare first where your target is, where you're heading to before shadow walking. I'm guessing MMO land, yes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Attempting to get to Kinleyville, but yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. If you had Royal Road,
works. I know that's not the way it works. That is my intent, though.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wait, you did get a crit, though.
That's right.
Right. So, new cards for you two.
Yeah.
Blood in. Because you're in a new zone.
Yes.
He's brought you to the plains. Mm-hmm.
The cards that you got previously, did you leave at the embassy deposit in the safe? The 4 new ones?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'll note them down on the spreadsheet then.
Groovy. The new cards, Dana picks up the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords.
Sorry, was that 9 or Knight?
Dana just picked up from coming to this zone now.
Yeah.
The Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. And Glenn picked up the 3 of Wands and the Ace of Cups.
Got it.
The second deck is coming along quick. So he's got you on. You go from there, and to you guys, it looks like just normal travel. You travel away from the Australian embassy, the furry city of San Angeles, through some forest, and then eventually you come into a big plains. It's very gradual that you get there. It's a big plains, and in the distance is some sort of city and whatnot. And eventually, you guys see. Oh shit!
I'll put on my leather armor.
All right. Everybody give me sanity rolls unless you have Rhydopeds maxed out.
Rhydopeds.
Rhydopeds.
They happen to make sand rolls for people.
No? Let me check here on the monster sheet real quick.
I might have to, but I haven't rolled for them previously.
Yeah, that's what I'm checking, actually. I could be wrong on the sandy rolls. If I am, then they just frightened you a little bit.
Or you've just forgotten to ask us to make sand rolls previously.
Yeah, fuck it. I can't find them. So we'll just go with no sand rolls. Anyway, you were just frightened. Anyway, it looks like people are riding giant millipedes. They're all in like armor. Rhydopeds, see? And they've got bows and such. And these things appear to be fairly fast on the plains. They're like, and the horses are like, fuck, fuck, fuck. Everybody give me animal handling rolls to control your mounts. Dana, yours will also be trying to control the train.
No.
They're running off right now, freaked out by the carrion smell of the Rhydopeds as they they're like, I'm out of here.
I'll reroll.
And I was going to say, with that roll, you are also out of here on your mount, which has decided quickly to go somewhere the fuck else.
All right, rerolling that.
If you guys end up failing your animal handling, then you can make a jump roll to not take damage from getting dismounted when they rear and plunge and run.
All right, I made it at under half.
You control your shit. McKay goes, bang, bounces off his. He goes, aha, and he does like the dismount thing.
I think Glenn does quite
Very
good as
nice
well.
job.
All right, and so does Glenn. They both dismount, and their horses go and run the fuck away. The guys on the right of Pete's pull up, and they're like, thank goodness you've arrived. Harriet needs to speak to you, McKay.
Yes, I know. And you've just caused our mounts to bugger off.
Don't worry. He dispatches a couple of guards that go after him, further scaring the shit out of the horses. The horses that you've got control of, Dana, just...
I was bringing him as gifts for Darius.
He says. He looks around.
All right, I'll let him know. What was your name?
Let us escort you back into town. From a distance, of course. So we don't want to upset your mounts. You can tell the Rhidopedes are looking at these like something new to eat or something. And so they go, they're creepy as fuck, but they look super comfortable. They're none of this up and down bullshit. It's just. So, right, you guys eventually get to town. Other people come, they take the horses, they try to figure them out. They have no idea.
If you could please explain to him, Dana, the basic stuff.
Dana, give me a teaching roll followed by animal handling as you carefully instruct them. You have several attentive people who are listening to your every
I need
word.
teaching.
Hooray! Yes. Now all you got to do is make animal handling and everything will be A-okay.
Yo,
God damn, you got the right person there, McKay. No problem. They will keep them well away from the Rhidopedes and attempt to breed them. Checking to see if the Rhidopedes can capture the other two guys' horses, which they're still chasing. Anyway, so right, you guys then eventually now this city itself. Imagine really professionally made looking medieval-ish buildings. We're talking like the kind of bland view that D&D players generally have of what fantasy was like, that kind of village. But then some of the buildings are really expertly made. Others look like people were like, I think this is how a building is made. I don't know. Let's try. That kind of creative. And then also there's a lot of shit from Burlington that's been stolen from Burlington and brought here, like windows. You can see like the windshield of some car because it's still got the windshield wipers on it. That's somebody's window. It's almost like cargo cult feel where they just have all this. There's like TV antennas and stuff like that. Just weird shit. They then reset fog. They take you guys over to some sort of town hall looking thing. It's a big elaborate building. They tell you they take your packs and such and say we'll put this in the Alex Kinley domicile, sir.
Thank you.
They take you in to let you visit with the local rulers who are named Claire and Darius. That's what they look like. They seem to definitely be husband and wife, although their relationship seems good, and they're not ignoring each other, which is awesome and rare these days. With them is their good friend and court advisor, Obed.
No. Sorry, I thought it was going to be central time for them for a minute.
No. Obed's posing dramatically, like that, usually.
Wow.
And he wears that all the time. We don't know why. So anyway,
of protectiveness.
Yeah. See, it's not just women that can have shitty armor. Yeah. Darius is like.
I think he was originally a woman. I think he had a woman character when he came here originally, and then once he got made permanent, he turned to his natural maleness and decided to keep the armor. That is my speculation.
I see. Or he just likes dressing in women's clothes. Let's not judge.
That's right. Or maybe he just likes dressing that way.
Darius says, thank goodness. He extends his hand, and as he comes down, shakes your hand. He's like, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? What can we get you?
We're a bit dusty, a bit thirsty. We brought some lizard horses here that you might be able to use for breeding stock to actually start getting, well, lizard horses so you can
thank you
start get
very much.
wagons and
Centipedes
stuff.
are such a pain in the ass. And yes, wagons and maybe
Yeah,
plow.
I know with the pedes that you can't leave them out in the sun. They got to find dark caves, so it makes it very hard to travel.
And only eating dead or decomposing things.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway,
we're grateful for your wonderful gift. What I have to talk to you about, although it is urgent, the two issues I have to talk to you about can wait until after you have had a chance to refresh. He calls in a servant. They seem like they're definitely in charge, but nobody's calling them Your Majesty. Nobody's sucking their ghost of a cock or whatever. They're just very respectful to him. And he goes, "Hey, could you please show these guys over to the Alex Kinley domicile?" Yes, sir. I'm happy to. Oh, it's Joshua McKay. Yeah, come this way.
This is Dana, sorry, and this is Glenn.
Dana, Glenn, both Darius and Claire shake your hands warmly. They seem like friendly, wholesome people. Darius says, "Welcome to Kinleyville."
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're part of our group. Of
course, I understand. They take you out of the town hall. In front of the town hall, you can see a larger-than-life statue of drunken Alex Kinley. He has a barrel of whiskey in one hand. His foot is up on a child's head, and he appears to be drinking it and holding a sword. And they take you over to a comfortable place. It can hold maybe 4 people plus gear, and it has a lot of little comfort things. It's got like a lot of little touches that showed that the people who set it up gave a shit. Like nice linens, very clean, plenty of food and drink and stuff in here as well. Looks like there's a lot of alcohol bottles and such that are probably just hammered when 2 of the party come here. Hammered. They've got a warm shower and stuff, but it does require that it get heated up first. And so they have people that bring in wood and they heat up the water, and then you guys are able to shower. Yeah, you guys clean up and you're ready to rock. After that, then you're brought back for a feast. It's a small feast, an intimate feast, maybe 30 or 50 people. And you guys eat, and Darius says, "I suppose you know why I asked you to come here already."
Because Alex dobbed me in for something.
That's right, he says. He said you were the local, or you were, of all the people, you were the expert on gates.
Depends on what sort of gate you're talking about. If you're talking about the gate on the animal pen, no. But if you're talking about magical gates that you can travel through, potentially yes.
The whirlpool gate between here and Burlington is the giant one, is what I mean.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. What about it?
We need you to make it so that it can be opened and closed, please.
I have not worked out how to do that yet, but I know how to relocate gates. But it only lasts for, like all magic, only lasts until like sun up, sunset.
Well, we need you to find a way to make it so that we can close it and open it at our leisure. That way we can be more defended against things like dinosaurs fly through again.
Yes, that would be very useful to be able to do.
Oh yes, everybody agrees. Harumph.
I suspect it is something possible. It could be something relating to the school I know of, but it may take a little bit of time to work it out.
He brushes a dreadlock back and he says, "We have until before the next attack."
Yes, of course.
You can't really put it better than that.
No. And what was the second thing?
Claire says spices.
Yes. What about?
We need a lot soon, because there was these 2 guys
Yes.
One
Tom
was named
Tom
Freddy.
and Freddy.
And
Yes.
Tom Tom, that's right. And
Bargain Town or Bargain something.
Bargain Man.
Bargain Man. Yeah.
And we didn't realize that they would be doing it, but they seem to have committed us to export a huge amount of spices to the dwarves. And we don't really have a lot in the way of spices. We would like spices, but also it seems we've never heard of many of these spices that the dwarves are now asking for. And
really? I thought that'd be quite common back in Night City.
we did not live above the clouds.
Considering how much it would have cost for the booths and stuff you guys were using, I would have thought some of you came from fairly wealthy lifestyles.
Some of us have, but some of these spices, I mean, what is melange anyway?
What?
There's just a lot of weird spices that we don't know the names of.
I don't think they know what they are either.
Well, so
Melange, I don't recall.
We just wanted to ask for, we've calculated it's approximately a metric ton of spices that we're committed to by this Freddy and Bargain Man.
I see.
The dwarves apparently very much enjoyed the spice sampler that they had, and we are concerned because they seem overly insistent on getting them soon.
Okay. Yes,
to the point where we are worried that the dwarves may think we are holding back on them and wage war upon us.
That would be unfortunate. So what's Alex doing about it?
Well, he said to talk to you.
Yeah, of course he did.
So he said he would do everything he could, and then after some thought, he said to talk to you, and then he passed out. No, wait,
Yeah.
he never passes out.
No, he doesn't pass out.
Pretended to pass out.
Yes. And he opened up an eye to see if you were still watching him.
You are familiar with him.
Yes. Yeah, surprisingly, yes.
Mm. So, could we have the metric ton of spices? I mean, we've probably got a few weeks until it's a critical situation, but we were hoping to get it out of the way well before then. Yes, we've only received this so far. He gives you a small salt shaker. This is what they've come up with so far. We were hoping for a bit more.
Yes.
We didn't want these people to make such a deal because we'd rather deal with things that we actually have. But on the other hand, if we can get these to the dwarves, the armor and weapons that we have already gotten samples of from them will greatly increase the strength of our troops in the city and help us from. Oh, by the way, do you think Alex has started a war between us and the Birdmen as well as the dwarves? I mean, we only have so many humans in this world.
Well, if somebody was going to do it, it was probably him and the people he was with.
Everybody at table nods. That does sound like Alex Gimli. He said it'd make us tougher. Didn't he say that it never changes? Yeah.
Whether or not it was intentional or it was a faux pas, they accidentally insulted someone, I don't know. But
well,
what were they doing with the bird people?
We're not sure. We heard something from one of the people on the ship, but we didn't get the full story because
did he try to have sex with them or something?
Oh, that would be awkward. Well, we'd heard from one of the crew before they were doing a quick turnaround on the ship. They had to reload the farter gas into the bladder, and then go back off to try to pacify and stall the dwarves. We also have no idea how to get these things there, or even quite where the dwarvish kingdom is relocated.
When you mean relocated, they moved.
Well, maybe we're not sure on that either. Or I meant located. Also we don't know where the Naughty Shamrock is. So if you could just solve all of these problems, says
Yes,
Darius,
of course.
that would be awesome.
Okay, now.
I mean, I'm just working on building up the population here. No, you're not, says Claire. I mean, other men are working on building up the population here with other women. And she says, that's right. Pats his hand. He goes, yes, dear.
Yes. All right. So now, if only we had a limited retrieve, then getting the spices would be so much easier.
Mm. Yes. From what we've been able to piece together, two people without any idea on business skill, how much things are worth, what kind of good deal or bad deal they could get. No knowledge of the difficulties in shipping because the naughty leprechaun can only take naughty shamrock can only take a very limited amount of cargo, very limited. Seem to have committed us to rather more than we could deal with.
Yes, that sounds like them.
Are you able to grow any of your own herbs?
In a season or two.
Usually, little things grow quickly. If
we had seeds, we would be really interested in it. Plus, now that we have horses in a few years, then perhaps we will have plows.
With considering how fast pregnancy goes here, don't you think you could apply that same thing to crop growth and animal reproduction?
We can look into it. We're not sure how these things work yet. We've just been kind of blundering around. We don't really have an agricultural expert. He goes, I don't suppose either of you are agricultural experts, are you?
I have some knowledge of botany.
Well, yes, but I didn't know if you brought us two agricultural experts. That would be a big help if you did. He looks at Dana and Glenn.
I know some of natural history.
He stares at you for a moment. Right.
AFK. Fire break.
He continues to hope that you guys will produce useful skills so that you can work here for the rest of your lives in the most boring jobs ever.
No.
So, there you go. Everybody's left you alone at the dinner table with these 30 or 40 people who are interested in you and want to talk to you. So what do you do with the McKay?
I'm eating my vegetables and
they know about vegans. They got shit ready for you, no problem.
And imagining blowing up the general.
I'm curious to see how many of the dozen or more plots you guys can get through today. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We're up to what, 14, 15 now?
Yeah. There's a lot of threads.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you go to a new place, by God, you get tackled by somebody else who has shit for you. And it's, in this case, it's shit that was caused by other PCs. So, what do you do, says Claire, with Joshua?
Oh, trying to save the realities.
She says, I'm sure that our problems here are rather amusing to you then.
Well, someone needs to tend to the hearth fires, and I appreciate your efforts.
Wow, and we appreciate not all dying in a horrible fiery death.
So you have no spices or seeds of your own?
No, we could definitely use some spices. We did ask for seeds, but we only received small jars of already processed herbs. People who brought them don't seem to know what seeds are. They did give us, this is pepper seeds. They show you like the black pepper balls. They thought these were seeds.
Yes.
Is there
We did
anything
try
you can?
planting them.
Is there any natural growing plants that could be an even newer, more
substitute.
wonderful herb?
Yes, we're currently experimenting with some, but unfortunately they introduced the dwarves to things from Earth that we don't have, like horses, for example. We're glad that they didn't offer to sell them horses as well. Otherwise, then we would just be overrun. I don't know if I want to be a part of a dwarf city.
Does the Birdman King and Queen have a daughter?
Oh no, there might the table says it once. Do you think that Alex?
Yes.
One of the guys holds up a donut with a hole in it, and they
Yes.
hold up a dog. He looks at you.
What type of feast is this? Those don't get served at the same course.
Yeah, where's your etiquette?
Oh man. But yes, so the conversation goes on. They're not really expecting you to solve this all instantly, although it'd be groovy if you could. But yes, they want you aware of it and hopefully working on it because this is stuff that they can't do. These are things that are beyond them. They would love to get a bunch of seeds from different stuff, although not all herbs will grow in this environment.
No.
That's why you have trade routes and shit in the real world.
And you could potentially, with all the glass you've been gathering, you may have already done this, with the glass you've been gathering from Burlington, build a greenhouse.
There's a long pause at the table, and somebody goes, "Do we have to paint the glass green?" Everybody looks at the guy and then back to you, like, hmm?
No.
Good luck, I'm out of here.
These guys are not farmers. They're refugees. They've never even heard of a greenhouse. All their
right,
food.
we'll get you.
machines.
All right. Besides a book on greenhouses, is there some books on other stuff that you want?
Oh, they don't even know what to ask. Pretty much introducing a greenhouse here will be super cool for them. Although that's part of what we were waiting on before we build the bridge.
What?
Because, well, currently we are developing plans.
Oh, that's right. You did mention something about a bridge a while ago.
That's right. Bridge is a bit of a misnomer, actually. It will be the. Wait a second.
Catapult of death.
No, we have tried that in the past, but it was
Setting up catapult both sides of the river with a net, and you catapult people across into the net.
No, not that. We were going to build the Fulton Freddy crane. The Fulton Freddy crane would extend across the whirlpool of death, and then we would be able to lower things down. That way we can actually get hold of the cars and already worked metal that they have up there more easily.
So does the rope get severed when it gets lowered in? Have you tested it, like lowering in a rope from the Naughty Shamrock, to see whether or not it gets severed by the gate?
Well, the ship wasn't severed, and it did have ropes that were hanging off of it.
Yeah, but the ship is one complete thing. We've encountered, for example, Alex, myself, and Doc were exploring, and we've encountered a gate that's severed. When we entered the gate, the rope that somebody was on got severed by the gate.
Ah, awkward.
Well, and that was about a week ago.
Well, now that the Shoggoth has been killed by giant Mecha Fulton, we can experiment with that. Even if we're just able to drop things in once we build the Fulton Freddy crane, then but we don't want to build that until we're sure we can close and open the gate.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts on that, but it may take a bit of magic work.
If you could do it quickly, we would appreciate it. Oh,
If you had a limited retrieve, I might be able to do it very quickly.
they say. Claire looks and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is the ring from an ex-husband or?"
Huh?
She's talking to Dana because she just
okay.
noticed the ring on the necklace.
Okay, yep. You familiar with Lord of the Rings?
No.
Oh, she says, and says, "Excuse me, I've had a cold." She says, "Is it? Yes. Do you need anything from us to help you with your research?" Joshua says.
As I said, a limited retrieve card would be quite useful, or if a crit card would be even better.
Claire looks absolutely baffled at these things.
I look at my
yeah.
tarot cards, thinking these are the cards that you mean.
Hmm.
Should I rip one?
You
That's an
definitely should.
interesting thought, actually. Let me have a look. Let me
Presume
see.
magic works here.
Yes, it does. But maybe we shouldn't rip them inside this building while we're having dinner with people, in case the events are such that we don't want to happen.
We have a building set up for you. We call it the Alex Kinley Residence.
Okay.
It's for Alex and all of his friends that he brings. There's a lot of alcohol in there. Unless you guys want to do anything special at the feast, I'm happy to cut to the building and the ripping.
The only thing in regards to, all right, so in regards to getting the spices, do you have any gems or gold or money that we can use to purchase it with, basically?
We have something different. Pelts. Furs, pelts, etc. We've gotten a bit of a overflow on that. We told the other people, one of them tied it to his back and pretended to be a deer for a while. We are not sure why.
Okay.
They didn't seem interested in them. They took some with them to a place they called the Halfway Inn, and nobody wanted them. And so I don't know what happened to them after that. They had a wheelbarrow each.
Okay.
I've just in Night City.
Oh, everybody can give me a law roll.
I don't want to go to Night City right now.
All Night City is taken over by the Cybermen, taken over by Zog and the Cybermen.
I made law.
So,
excellent. You know
Night
that
City would not be good.
In many civilized, quote, quote, places, if you are wishing to sell pelts or furs, you have to have papers that prove that it is from something you had a license to kill to prevent poaching, etc. And give me appraisal rolls, anybody wishes to.
And it's got to be duck season or rabbit season or whatever season.
Yeah. Although duck pelts do not sell well generally.
You make my appraisal.
Unless you want them extra crispy, maybe.
Yeah, or Elmafud season.
That's right. With your appraisal, you know that like a bear pelt, for example, goes for in like 2020's economy for about $1,000. They're not hugely expensive.
Yeah, about $1,000 worth of herbs and spices.
Oh, yeah.
And while Gotham being the way Gotham is now, people would potentially be a bit less concerned about the law, depending on where we took them.
That's what we call supervillain thinking there.
Yes.
This is why you're wanted, I'm sure.
Yes. Nothing to do with Mildred accusing me of spousal domestic abuse, getting me arrested for spousal domestic abuse, and then telling Batman that I was the Joker. And then mentioning in front of the police that I was the Joker. Had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Yeah. As you
Sure.
can see, McKay has led a hard life.
I'm sure we could get a metric ton of spices for the dwarves, but they're probably just going to want another one next week.
That is a problem, says Darius. We need to set up some sort of regular chain. I mean, if you can secure, or if I think they called themselves the Spice Cartel, or was it Spice Girls, Spice Boys? I don't know. If you can set up some sort of regular chain that we can get to, we have people able to use the Clems that would be happy to travel there, but we are not great merchants. We would need something already set in, but we can port it back and forth.
Well,
if you can, of course, get. Well, I'm sure we can even find out where the dwarves live if our ship returns.
it'd be nice if the deal could be renegotiated and then set you guys up for growing whatever you can grow here.
Well, unfortunately, it seems that the king of the dwarves the Low King has already solidified the deal with them, and they feasted on it.
Of course.
And it's
Maybe we could renegotiate after delivering a metric ton of spices.
It's possible. It's possible. We haven't done a lot of trade, so we are not great businessmen. We're learning as we go. Our homes are becoming better, and now that we have horses, when we find out how to breed them, shows the guy pushing on the horse's ass. Come on! Then we can eventually continue to ramp up. But it is a slow process. We have many of the Chris available as well if needed.
Yes.
They took them. I'm not sure what they did with them, but we gave them a Chris that was as large as a man's leg and many small ones.
Okay.
Oh,
I think I'm trying to work out how to charge them.
Yes. If that can be found out, then if we can eventually make our own Chris-powered things, such as we have heard about in other lands, this would be quite valuable. Also, another problem that we are having. Oh, they don't want to hear about our problems. The hell, Daria says. We had sent off most of our magicians along with some armed guards. They were seeking the source of magic. Title card number 16 plot. Yeah, bitches.
Yeah. I know about this one. I thought they were back already.
No, they have failed to return so far.
Oh, okay. So they haven't found it yet.
Correct. Or they've all died. But
so Alex and that in their journey did not. Oh, what about the dragon? That's what I was going to ask you.
Ah, yes. We know that the dragon had come looking for him, but for Alex Kinley, he seemed very angry and wanted to eat him, but then he went away. And he did eat some of our new allies. He describes other problems that seem to have been caused by the PCs since they have new alliances with crocodile-headed people and goblins to the east.
So, X, did you hear about how the dragon fared against the Shoggoth that was at the whirlpool?
We don't know.
Okay.
Well, the Shoggoth must have dropped off, and there was no giant dragon body around, so perhaps it drove it off. Yeah, because or there's another Shoggoth. Oh Lord, Claire covers her mouth.
That would be bad if another Shoggoth got loose and was around somewhere.
We've heard that there's another one at the Temple of Dagon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There's a Temple of Dagon somewhere, is there?
Yes, it is also to the east, near the Goblins' territory.
You want me to make an acting role or something to pretend that I don't know what they're talking about?
Yes.
Considering I know exactly about considering the massive fight we had with the acting. No, it's not a fumble, but
they look at you narrowly. But yeah, so essentially what it appears to you in a top-down grand scale thing is the PCs have been stirring up all sorts of shit, and they're now trying to deal with it badly.
Yes.
They're
All right.
not skilled
So,
in. They're good at mining. They're very good. They've got Hornsby as their head geologist, and he is out with teams looking for stuff, and they're working on finding things. But unfortunately, they also need like somebody with engineering, mining engineering skill to assist, because they don't need some asshole with a pick. They need big sluices and shit like that.
Yep. They need the next level up.
Yeah, because I've even written up like asshole with pick can get this much, giant sluice iron mining works can get this much.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's why I call it is asshole with the pick. But eventually, the dinner winds down. They're just sharing their issues with you. Also, you guys are assured that you always have a place here. So especially Dana and Glenn are assured that if you ever need to come here and stay here, pretty much indefinitely, they will put you up happily. If you need weapons and armor and stuff, they'll supply you with whatever they can. Although, with the exception of the dwarvish shit that they're hoping to get more of, they do like the spice deal. They just don't have the spices. Then they can outfit you in what they have.
If you use Clems to come here, when you first arrive, don't make any sudden moves until the guards have ID'd you and confirmed that you're safe.
Everybody nods.
Oh.
Yes, we have it.
And then the guards will then, and then the guards will need to lead you out through the safe zone.
Mm-hmm.
Some infiltrators?
No, they just got it set up in case.
This area is not really known about yet. We are thinking if we can get the crane set up and the ability to turn on and off the whirlpool gate, then we are going to probably deactivate the Clems here, but for added security. So you guys head back to your abode when the dinner winds down. Everybody buggers off. I'm guessing you'd want to wait till the next day before you start ripping anything.